Good morning, Lisa.
So tell me, who has the upper hand going into this meeting?
Well, as they say, good preparation is the best prevention for poor performance. And I think this is where a lot of people are more betting on the Chinese side rather than the American side. I think definitely President Donald Trump should bring his A game, way better than how he has been dealing with other foreign leaders in the previous weeks. As you know, his interaction with Chancellor Angela Merkel in Germany also came under a lot of criticism. There was apparently a snub in terms of handshake with her in the Oval House, among other things. And the thing is this, the Chinese are coming in with a lot of experience. President Xi Jinping met President Obama, Trump's predecessor, on multiple occasions, and they're going to come there with a full list of issues to discuss, to negotiate, and to look over, while hopefully Donald Trump goes there more than just his 50 characters Twitter sloganeering. So this is where this is going to be a big challenge. The Chinese are definitely very well prepared for this, but the thing is this, there are two levels of interaction here. The first level of interaction is how the two leaders will communicate this summit to their domestic audience. On one hand, of course, Donald Trump right now has been trying to recover from major domestic setbacks, whether it's his controversial travel ban, which has been overturned, at least temporarily, by the courts. His trust ratings are not going high. They're actually still very low. And of course, he also had a defeat on the American healthcare bill. So he's not doing very well domestically. So he's desperate to score something big here. And of course, that's why he had a lot of very provocative tweets ahead of his meeting with China, saying that he's going to stand up to China
really on this meeting, Richard. A lot riding, like you've been saying. You know, we've talked in the past about the lack of a coherent Asia strategy by this administration. Even they haven't done a regional policy review yet. How could all of this really hurt him when he comes to the table and tries to negotiate with President Xi?
Well, apparently the person who's the top advisor of President Trump in this meeting is Mr. Matthew Pottinger, who's slated to head the National Security Council Asia team. And Pottinger was a journalist based for Wall Street Journal, based in China before. He was in Marines. He was already an advisor to former National Security Advisor Mr. Flynn, among others. So you have a China veteran, China expert, although a China hawk, also here trying to give all advice that is necessary to Mr. Trump. And then, of course, you have also his son-in-law, Mr. Kushner, who has also established a parallel backdoor channel with the Chinese via Ambassador Kui Changkai to also get some views on China and also make sure that Mr. Trump doesn't get this wrong, despite the need for him to prove to his domestic audience, to his Jacksonian base, that it's going to be tough on China. But you have to also realize that China, particularly Mr. Xi Jinping, is also trying to play to his own domestic audience, because there's going to be a Chinese leadership transition later this year, and President Xi Jinping wants to show that he's not going to be told around by another foreign leader, and that China and U.S. are right now co-equal powers, so no one can dictate any term to each other. Because the last time they had a phone conversation whereby Mr. Trump, to the delight of Chinese, reaffirmed the one China policy, meaning will not recognize Taiwan as a sovereign independent nation. In the press release of the Trump team, they stated that that decision was made based on quote-unquote request of President Xi. So Trump made it clear, or tried to make it clear, that he was the winner during his first encounter with Xi Jinping during their phone call. So the Chinese fear that Trump will try to pull off a similar trick. So I'm sure they're gonna prepare also for ways to make sure that Xi Jinping will not look like a leader who has been told by Trump what to do.